Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. And in today's video we're going to be discussing a player scout video. And in this video we're going to be looking at Dusan Vlahovic, a striker. We're going to be looking at his strengths and weaknesses as a football player, and then giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on whether or not Chelsea Football Club should go for him. Let's get into it. So, I'm pretty sure many of you guys already know who Dusan Vlahovic is. He's quite a famous player already and plays for quite a big club as well. But let me just give you guys a quick rundown on who he is. Dusan Vlahovic is a 23-year-old Serbian striker who plays for Juventus in Serie A. He has scored 10 goals and assisted twice in the league this season from 27 appearances. So that's just a quick lowdown on him. One thing to also caveat about this season that we're going to be talking about Vlahovic is that he's had quite a few injuries. I think there was a little groin injury that he had, if I'm not mistaken, even the World Cup, which is why he wasn't starting as much even then. So again, I just think that's a fair caveat to give to the player when I'm speaking about him and any stats that I give out. So let's start with some of his strengths. His main strength, really, as is any striker, is his finishing. Can finish from any position. Very good volleyer, long range, short range, and mid range as well. Another thing about him is that, he's got 0.43 non-goal XG, which is a good thing. Again, he doesn't rely on penalties as a striker to be scoring. He's able to, score his own goals, which is something that, we want at the end of the day. We don't want our strikers to be goalless and just rely on penalties, to rack up their records. We want as much non-penalty goals as possible. For me, your striker should be scoring goals, not penalty goals. Simple as that, really. But that is really what you want them to do anyway. So I don't know why I made that analysis, but we can move on from that swiftly. Next on, really, is that he's got his technical ability, very good on the ball. He's able to create his own shot, which again is very good for any striker. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get that service from whether it be your wingers, your number 10 that's behind you. So you as a striker have to be able to create that space for yourself and be able to make that shot for you. And for him, he's got 3.05 shots taken per 90. So again, it's really showing you that he's able to create at least 3 shots for himself. In and around the goal by himself. That's without any service to him from the wingers, from the 10 behind him, or even if there's any 8s as well that are in and around the team. So those are really his strengths. But as I've said before, with a striker, you can't just be finishing and it can't just be technical ability, and that's why we're gonna discuss Vlahovic's weaknesses. So one of his weaknesses is his dribbling. Even though Vlahovic in general, he's got as good as a dribbling for any striker, it's just that in transition, it seems that he runs out of he seems to run out of something like, it's not really speed. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's like he runs out of dribbles. He's not able to move as fast as he can do in transition, and sometimes as such, the move slows down and it's pretty much over. So again, that is something that worries me. I want my striker to be able to be driving the ball up the field, able to dribble all the way forward, and then if he's able to find an option, whether it be a winger that comes running forward, or a number 10, or another player that is able to come from behind to help him out, that's what you want him to do. But I think of Vlahovic, I think the word is running out of steam. That was what I was looking for. He runs out of steam. He just then stays in one position, waits for everyone to come in, and then the move is essentially over, because then everyone else on the opposition team has also come over. So Vlahovic literally has stopped any sense of momentum for something to happen. The next thing is his passing. So even though when you look at Vlahovic, yes, he makes the right type of passes, there's the 2 issues that he has with the passing is execution and weight of pass, and those 2 are as important. It's all good that that I can hit the ball for a pass in the right direction, but if the ball's too short for the player or too far for the player, or the ball you hit is like gonna fizz at the player straight away, rather than be able to get to his foot with ease and calmness, and then they can just do whatever they need to do to whether it be score a goal or get into the penalty box, then what's the point? What's the point of that pass? All you've done is, given the opposition a bit more time to readjust quickly to that player who may have been free, in a pocket of space, and then it's all over. So Again, that is something to think about again with Vlahovic. But again, I've spoken when you speak about both dribbling and passing. These things can also be improved upon. He's 23 years old. He's still not reached his peak yet as a striker. Quite a young player. Maybe under a Poch, you can improve that as well. But again, that remains to be seen. But we'll wait and see. And the final one, which I just had to take a look at my book because I remembered this quite clearly, is that he's a confidence player. Similar to like a Timo Werner, when he's scoring goals, he's high, he's happy. You know what I mean? He can score like goals out of nowhere. You know what I mean? He's trying ambitious shots, etc., etc. But when the lows are low and he's not scoring and nothing's going in for him, his play goes really down the drain. Like he's not really helping out on the pitch as much. He's not trying to force himself to get that goal. So that is a worry again. So sometimes as a striker, you need to realize you're gonna go for a goal drought. Okay, if I'm going through that goal drought, what can I do as a player? Okay, to maybe regain that goal that I need to gain, and also help out the team. That's why sometimes as a striker you try to get your other teammates into a game, look for that pass maybe, and then maybe that your teammate can find you again for another pass, and all it takes is a tap in for you to restart, your engine, restart your goal again. And if that's not the case of Vlahovic, where even when his confidence is low, he's basically useless on the pitch. That is a big worry. It's a big worry because, as you know, we've only got Nicholas Jackson on the bench and possibly Broha. It's not a good example being shown if Vlahovic, when his confidence is low, is not willing to, go the extra mile, go the extra position to, help out his other teammates, maybe get that goal, and then he gains the confidence from them, seeing them, and then trying to score the goal. So it is what it is, really. In my opinion, though, I would not want Dusan Vlahovic on my football team. I just think, looking at those weaknesses, can he improve to such a level to reach a top position? Maybe, maybe not. But the thing that worries me is a confidence thing. As a striker, I know that confidence is a big thing, but when your confidence is low, it's the way that Vlahovic is. It's not good for the team, in my opinion, and it's not good for the team morale either. So, in my opinion, I would not want Dusan Vlahovic at this football club, and that is my final opinion. That is the video, guys. Please make sure to subscribe. We are currently on 240 subscribers. Let's get to 220, please. Let us get to 220, please. Alright? Let's get 220 subscribers. And make sure to hit a like, We're nearly there. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the month. So let's get there. So road to 500, you know what I'm saying? Road to 500. Alright, guys. That is the video. Please make sure, again, to like and subscribe. And always stay blue.